considering everything that they went through, right? From the John Gruden things to the Henry Ruggs to the players with the gun
playing Call of Duty,
Either, but they're not even close to being the best team in their division. They're a wild card team at best.
If Derek Carr is not the quarterback of the Raiders, they're not here.
Kind of remake their roster a little bit here today. They matched Chandler Jones with Max Crosby. They had Rocky Sin in the secondary. They lose Yannick Ngakoue.
Devontae Adams, in a massive move here, MJ, is headed to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Charles Winston jersey up the top, so it's been documented forever. So I guess you could say it's meant to be.
Yo, what's good? What's good? YouTube, what's happening? What's happening? Welcome to the Low Lights with Dirty Low. Got my boy Gravy with me as always. Second show of the new season that we're gonna be doing and stuff like that. Thank you guys for showing up. We're gonna have a few guests coming up, showing up, and everything like that. But there's a few things I want to get that grind my gears. I want to get off my chest, Gravy, before I even give you your props and everything like that. Anybody that's on Facebook Live watching, okay, if you guys know me, you guys know me. I'm working on it, but I can't see your comments on Facebook Live where I'm at right now. So if you guys want to make any comments or anything like that, come on over to YouTube. Just type in Dirty Low. You'll be able to find me there. So today we're going to be talking about, I called it the Princess Complex, the Raiders love story, bro. Like, I just thought I'd fuck with it. You know what I mean? The whole purpose of us talking about it is basically the whole thing about Jamarcus Russell, the whole story about it, how he felt about it. Me and Gravy talked off camera a couple of days ago when it first came out. And we both watched it, and we kind of just like, all right, let us settle in a little bit. We kind of agree but disagree. We look at the same things. Gravy's great at looking at it from a coaching point of view because obviously, my man's a coach. And so anyways, Gravy, what's up, man? How's your day going today, bro?
How's you doing,
that sounded kind of fake as fuck. How's your day going, Gravy? Gravy, how's your day going?
Wonderful.
Hold on, let me ask something.
Wonderful, my homie.
That's what's up.
Good to be with you. Thank you for the invite. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, brother.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my dude.
Yeah. Got you.
So
I'm ready to jump in this shit, bro.
You ready? Just that no nothing, huh?
Well, let me hear what you think. Yeah, we got our debates, and then we had our that we agreed with the dude, and then we had our debates as far as how he feels or what should have been done and all this shit. So,
right.
Yeah, your side of it.
So, pretty much, let me break down the princess effect, right? So this is why I call it the princess effect. First, I want to shout out to Auntie. I sent you the link, Auntie, come through, you know what I mean? Anthony, shout out was good, my bro. Glad you're here. So let me explain to you guys what the princess effect is. complex. So, say, for example, let's say when there once was princesses or whatever, not brides, whatever you want to call it. The complex was that everybody was like, hey, princess, oh, you're the best. You can ride the horse the best. You can shoot an arrow the best. You're the prettiest in the whole kingdom, so forth and so forth, right? All these different accolades that really actually was actually a value of that person. Like, you know what I mean? She was good, in all these different things, right? But what happens is, say she meets another, say, group of people, another village, another kingdom that we're going to come together. When they look at that from their perspective, it's not necessarily, how would you say it? Their outlook on their, I guess you would say, how would you say it? Like their achievements or who they are or whatever, whatnot in that fashion. To us or to the other village, that's minimum. So they're like, oh, okay, well, you know what? That's cool, but check this out. They're like, no. The princess complex is the princess that has all these accolades and doesn't want to hear anything else from anybody else. Says, no, you're wrong. I'm right. Because everybody told me I'm right. So when I was watching that, I heard about the princess complex before watching that. So when he started saying everything and stuff like that, I was kind of keeping an open mind and being like, hey, check this out. Dude, I give him his props. He came and finally talked about it, did all the good stuff, blah, 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 whatever, whatnot. But did he, like, on the flip side, did he actually have a bad coaching roster? Of course he did. Was him being the player that he was, because now there's somebody was saying yesterday on Ralphie's channel, OG was saying that apparently when he was getting drafted, they had to have somebody wake him up. So whoever was drafting for the Raiders, you know what I mean? Basically, they just put all this stuff on him to make him look like he was the biggest thing ever. And then, he stubs his toe and somebody tells him something different. All of a sudden, he changes his whole tune. It changes everything about what he actually is saying. He's not saying nothing, bro. He's just complaining. That's all he's doing. But I understand why he's complaining. And that's what the whole thing is about. Because overall, I'm not trying to call the man a grown-ass man, 6'5", 300-something pound dude, a princess. It's just a complex. It's a thought process. It's just a different way of the way people look at shit. It's different perspectives. That's pretty much what it is. Grave, before I let you jump on, everybody, we got the El Capitan himself, Ralphie is in the building. Come on, brother. Jump on in. How you doing there, brother?
El Cap, what's up, brother?
Yes. Yes, hello to everybody else.
Yes, sir. Thank you for jumping on, man. But okay, so we were talking about the whole princess complex and why we're going to talk about this subject today. So it was Gravy's trying to talk about it. So Gravy, go ahead, talk to me.
Yes.
I heard what you were saying about, back then I remember Jamarcus Russell playing in college, and I remember his pro day. It was unbelievable, bro. The way he had, it's not because I watched the pivot. I thought that way anyways about the dude.
Right. So did I.
He was on point. He was the best quarterback out there that year, no matter what. No matter what team besides Megatron that year, no matter what team was there, they were 1A and 1B, whatever,
Right.
Al Davis, as we know how he was, always looked for the superstar quarterback, and we needed a quarterback after that. We weren't playing good. I believe we were, 4 and something, then 5 and something, had a stretch like that, and we had Tom Cable. He wasn't a very good head coach. He inherited that team. That was a bad team. What I got off the interview, and this is not personally, if you want to get into what I feel about Jamarcus Russell personally, it'll be good. But in the video and hearing him talk, it was, I understand, he had some hardships in his life. He had some deaths in his family. But like I told you, Dirty, there's 1,000 players that go through the same shit. And just because you're the number one pick, it doesn't mean that it's excusable.
I agree.
It doesn't. I feel bad for the dude that happened to his family. It's hard. It's hard to lose somebody. Everybody knows that. And sincerely, I feel bad for him. But when you get picked, the number one pick, that means you have a lot of pressure on you. And I think that the pressure that he doesn't want to admit that he had, the hard work you put into, and you have quarterbacks that didn't put in the work, and some Hall of Famers, but 99% of the quarterbacks that are out today and from then had to work hard to be what they are. You know what I mean? He said he's not a film study guy. Well, then you're not a quarterback, bro. You know, you have to put in that extra work. You know, our quarterback goes out there and watches probably a gang of film, even at home on his own time. You know, Derek Carr does that. Aaron Rodgers does that. Tom Brady does that. And it shows on the field. It shows on the field if you study and you work hard. It just sounded to me like everything that a coach made him do, he thought that coaches were picking on him instead of putting in the work without the coach saying, well, do this. If a coach has to tell you to work harder, then that's a problem. You should do that on your own. You should do that on your own.
For sure.
You know? And,
Yes.
You know,
I'm going to give a shout out to the chat real quick and we'll get you off here, all right? Hey, Digital Prez, what's up? Nice. Hey, we had a good conversation today. Good texting back and forth. Me and him were bullshitting today, man. I had to text him, bro. His voice is too sexy. I can't be on the phone with him, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I end up sending money and all kinds of crazy shit. Anyways, fuck it around.
Prince is alive. Prince is
alive, bro. He's alive and well, and he's down the street. Hey, shout out to EJ Raider. What's good, bro? All right, Anthony. Yeah, I already know what's up. Anthony's giving a shout out to Prez. Hey, Gravy and Love. What's up? Yep, Gravy and Raph.
Yes.
There you go. See what's up? There you go. EJ, my guy, and Anthony. Not much. I mean, yeah, Prez. All right. Here we go. Okay. Rafi, talk to me, brother. What do you think of the whole Jamarcus Russell? We talked a little bit about it on your show. You know what I mean? So talk to me, bro.
Yes. Yeah, but I just wanted to talk about what's going on with Jamarcus Russell. Here's a fun fact. He was born at the same day that I do because he was born in 1985 and I was born in 1993 because, well, to be clear, because there's, 29 days until my birthday, which is I'm 29 years old. And right now, I just saw the part of the history of the Raiders. Everybody thought that the Raiders could choose like a bigger weapon for the draft right here in 2007. But as this organization right here, they just messed up. They just fucked up because they choose Jamarcus Russell as the first option. Now, they just went wrong because immediately, like, they have their contract holding until the second week. While he's turning, he will define the consistent play and over this word legit interest released in 2010. But right now, it's just like a draft bust because he's like considered one of the biggest busts right here because it sounds like a waste of time because he was born in Mobile, Alabama, and he was drafted at the LCU, which is not very quiet about it, but he was drafted at the Raiders right here in the 2007. He was just like 6-year contract worth of the $60 million. Now that went wrong because he was the first appearance in December of 2007 against the Denver Broncos. He was played 2 series and he completed 4 or 7 passes. But when we run about the 2008, he was started for the opening game, but he just lost it against the Denver Broncos. The Harris are ranked like 1 and 2. So they went to anybody else because the impact right here, because right now, when it comes to the 2007 Oakland seasons right here, the record was 4 wins to 12 losses. Then to another season is 5 wins and 11 losses. And then to another year, which is 2009, which it did not qualify, which is 5 wins and 11 losses. Now, those 3 years about Jamarcus Russell, okay, so he went wrong because that quarterback that we drafted at the first round with Jamarcus Russell right here, he went wrong for not only with the organization, but also the team because did not qualify any playoffs in 3 occasions, which is 2007, 2008, and 2009. And they just, Jamarcus, and everybody told it about, Jamarcus Russell, if you're not fit for the Raiders, you could probably leave. You probably leave. And after that, the wins started over right here. But I just wanted to say very quickly and share it about it. Marcus Russell is just like a draft bust. A fucking clown, a waste of time, and that's what I said it. Because when we talking about the Raiders, we're talking about legendary players like Al Davis, John Maiden, also Ken Stabler, Jim Flores, Jim Punklet. Also, there's Phil Villapiliano. Those are amazing players right here. And of course, the brand new generation, which is Max Crosby. Also, they got Chandler Jones, Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. But when you're talking about Jamarcus Russell, it's just like full of garbage. It's just like, well, piece of rubbish right here. And I just wanted to say, it's just like a draft bust. It's just like a waste of money. Because at first, because I was learning about the history of the Raiders, because right now I'm wearing a Raiders jersey, and I had Asperger's syndrome because I'm still learning about the history of the Raiders and the American football. But in my case right here, where Jamarcus Russell was there for only 3 seasons, the Raiders want to kick him out. Because the only issue about him, because did not qualify because that team was not perfectly right and they just lost it, and they're just saying to pack his things right here and just like to get out. And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's really, really hard. I was even thinking about like twice about doing it because this is such an old thing that it really, it opened up a lot of different, things because this is going to be talked about for a long time. I could already see somebody trying to write the script of it already, trying to put it out on Lifetime or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it would be good to see. It'll be good to see his true feelings.
Right? You know what I mean? It would be good to see, but like, all accounts possible. You know what I mean? Like, it was shed so much bad light. You know what I mean? It's just like, I just like kind of like digging into the psyche of the whole situation. You know what I mean? And then you try to compare like other players because the simple fact is, bro, even though he made a comment, one of the comments that threw me off, that tore me up the most, was that he's like, man, I ain't going to be no Superman. I can't be the savior. What? Like, bro, as a football player, that's what you want to do. How can you contradict yourself and turn around and say, like, I'm not going to watch 5 hours of film? Man, I just want to go play ball. What? Look, you look at other quarterbacks that came before him, and me and Gravy were talking about this before, and I just want to kind of touch on this really quick. I don't want to stay on it. I'm not trying to make it about this. This is like just a part of it. You try to make a situation that like they're trying to find the next best quarterback, and he emphasized the word black. I didn't. It was on the pivot. Go watch it. That's what he said. Me personally, there was McNabb, there was Warren Moon, there was Vic, all these different quarterbacks that were black. I'm not trying to put the emphasis on it, but that's what he said. That was almost a way out, bro. He's not trying to look for a fucking way out, and that's when I knew he was full of shit. Now I know that he was full of shit, and everybody can see that he's full of shit, and he's using that. He did get his money and all that stuff. Now, did the Raiders do right by him? Fuck them. The one thing that OG said the other day on your channel, Raph, was the scouting report on him, besides the pro day or whatever, the draft day or whatever, they had to hire somebody to wake him up. Bro, I'm not I am not gonna sit back and pay somebody and then pay another person to wake the person that I'm paying. Fuck no. Get out of here, bro. Now if that's true,
get him a fucking rooster.
Right. What else? You want to get someone to hold your arm and throw the ball for you? You want someone to, like pump the urine out of you? Get out of here, bro. Like it goes further than that. And I'm not trying to get that deep into the whole situation because, there's a lot to unpack here. Like I said, also, it's just a big ass onion. You can unravel the coaches and all that stuff. So, like, if the coaches at that time, and I believe OG Daniel, if you're watching, man, salute to you, bro.
Yes.
I believe he said something along the lines that this guy was with the Raiders organization for like 36 years, so forth and so forth, and they knew that. They knew that the organization should have been. That right there just says that they put a lot of people in danger at that time. They didn't have nobody. Everybody was out for themselves. That's hard, bro. That's hard, regardless of whatever. Even though how I feel about it, I still think that's hard overall for a whole organization and for one man to do. But I still think he's full of shit because other people didn't before him and better, with class, with work ethic, with hustle, with way more shit than they had to go through way more shit than he had to go through. You know what I mean? So
I think I sympathize with them in a way, but it's fucking it's like this.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
When you got coaches are gonna coach you no matter what. And then if you're gonna be out there and get the reputation of singling out players instead of getting that running back, instead of getting that quarterback room better, then there's a problem in your organization, which probably there was. It's been known for decades that Al Davis ran dysfunctional shit.
Right.
But if you're gonna sympathize with the guy for what he said, I would like to see other people come out there and say, "This is what Jamarcus did."
Right.
This is the way. This is the type of quarterback he was in practice. He didn't put in the work. He didn't stay after. He could have had a good communication or a good connection with some of the receivers that were there, even though there wasn't no. It sounded like a lot of blaming and a lot of well, they didn't take care of me. They didn't put nobody in front of me or next to me that could teach me this. You know what I mean? I always
They
had
didn't
Nick
put baby
Saban.
powder on my diaper.
I had Nick Saban to hold your hand. That shit don't work in the pros, bro. They're not babysitters, man. You're getting paid. Like we talked about, Dirty, you got to go to work, man.
Right, you got to go to work. Right. No, I agree.
You got to go to work. That's his job. His job is to do the best he can. And if he can't put in that overtime like you would at a normal job, then coaches see that.
Right.
Owners see that. And that's why he lasted 3 years. But he still got the money. So I want if you still got the money, I wouldn't put no shade on any of the coaches or anything like that because you still got paid.
So some of the stories that he's saying, okay, regardless of Rafi, I'm gonna ask you this. So regardless of what the coaches were saying and how everything came out, do you think what he was saying about the coaches, do you think any of what he said was right? Or was a lot of it lies? Or both?
Well, I think that's like a good question right here, but I always say because right now they have like decisions for the coaches right here. So in my defense right here, because right now all these players need to watch all the film tracks right here, because if one player say, I'm not gonna watch film because he doesn't know, because he doesn't know about it, because they need to learn and understand what about the weakest point and about what the weakest point is about the rivals, and of course about what's going on with the defense at the offline right here. So this is like a class right here. So every player needs to study a film studying about it. So they need to know what's the weakest point for the rivals. What's about to improve about the defense at the offline. So anything can happen. And maybe I'm smart about that. If I was a coach, I'd say, hey, you're gonna say about the weakest point right here because right now it is what it hurts. But right now they have to improve the defense because right now, if you improve it right here last day, they'll applaud you because right now it's very simple because right now it is about determination and all about it. So we're not just saying about the 2007, 2009, and of course 2008 Oakland Raiders. Did not have like, well, the worst thing about it because of Jamarcus Russell. But in fact, the point is, over the last years, just were like, well, just like an improvement right here. If you lead well to see getting each other about the film story about the players, and of course the weakest points for all these rivals right here, let's just let a good understanding right here. And that's
Yeah.
He didn't do anything on that interview to make me think anything changed.
So you're telling me that, like, regardless of whatever, like, there's not even nothing saying that what he has said about the coaches throwing them under the bus and doing all this, none of that, like, grasp that all, because they were throwing them under the bus in the media. They were.
That's media.
But the coaches were saying it on film, on media.
It's
on record.
What I think, and it was to see if he would put forth that effort. They're giving him chances. They're giving him a bunch of chances,
bro. See, Gravy. See, this is where we get started. This is where we start disagreeing a little bit. I get it.
Wanted to see if he would put in the work.
Okay, but see, look, check this out. I'm gonna use a perfect example, right? I used to work at Jiffy Lube, right? Long time ago. I was a manager, blah, blah, blah. I was living out of state, blah, blah, whatever. Came back years later, haven't worked there, boom, got a fucking job again. Didn't get the management job, had to fucking start from the bottom. Know what I was doing? Followed the fucking boom, did everything. First day I come back, this dude's fucking just all up in my fucking face, never met the cat. You're doing it wrong, you gotta woo. I turn around, I stop everything, bro. Stop everything. I put my shit down, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I stopped, because this is just the way I do my shit. I had to stop this person from talking to me that way or anything like that, because certain people don't need to be talked to like that. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm no Jamarcus Russell of the Jiffy Lube fucking industry. By no means. I didn't get paid millions and millions of dollars to just fucking do a job. You feel me? But what I'm trying to get at is, you can't talk to anybody any way you want to at any time. Because you and I both know that you get popped in the mouth really, really quick, professional or not. You know what I mean? So it's like standing your ground for certain things and being like, I don't want my boss saying, man, this motherfucker ain't shit. All I would if my boss wants to go be negative towards me, be like, okay, you can't do that. Person to person, me and you have a problem, Gravy. I'm telling you, I'm not going to tell Raph and tell everybody, fuck that. We talk. We're in the same building together. Hey, you're not cooking the burgers right at McDonald's. Hey, man, you got to get a little bit faster. You got to talk. You have to have communication, bro. Now, is he the lazy coworker? Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? He's the one like, oh, well, we need back braces. We need fucking shoe. And so, like, you know what I mean? I get that part. I get it. I understand it. Cool. But he did need some fucking support. Anybody does. It doesn't matter.
About the coaches, that's his say, bro. The coaches can't go out there and say he didn't work hard, or he did work hard. He just didn't get it. They're not going to do that. They're not going to put themselves on that list where he talks about players in the media, and then they won't get a job again. They're not going to do that.
But they did, though.
I haven't seen one interview.
Abel said he was the worst thing for the organization. To the media.
Well, look at the way the dude was working, bro. Look at the way he was working. Just because he shows up that he's a badass fucking NFL quarterback. He was badass in college, but you ain't playing with college boys no more. You ain't playing with college coaches no more. It's different.
Yeah,
and why cry about it, bro? And why cry about it?
Of course he's gonna cry. You know what I mean? Because he's just that person. That's him, and that's cool. And I get it. But if they turn around and took on hiring somebody to wake his ass up, and then sit back and pay that guy, and then watch how this guy fucks up, and then bitch about that? That's stupid. So
You just answered my question, bro.
No. It answers it right, but it's on both ends though. No matter what, it's both ends, regardless if the guy sucked or not. Because we even talked about it too off camera when we first started having this conversation. When I said we're gonna do the show, we even talked about it. Who, like, okay, out of all the number one draft picks, who's the biggest? Who's the biggest? Who's the biggest bust besides? No, they don't put no emphasis. How many people out of the 32 players that go number one or overall or whatever went out, how many of them are busts? A lot.
Most of them.
Right. So why is he so specific because of this guy? Because he got so much money? Yeah, he's a lazy fuck. I even watched him when he was practicing, and I was like, dude, he's getting me fucking lazy just watching him throw a ball. Like, he slowly turned around, bro. Like, I was like, God damn, bro. Like, he was turning around like this. What the fuck? So I get it. So I understand it, but why keep it? Send that shit off. He's like, oh, I don't want to be here. Fucking man, give me 2 draft picks for this motherfucker. Send them off.
If
keep them.
They wouldn't even wanted him, dude. They wouldn't even want him. That's why he didn't get a legit shot in the NFL after that.
Chicago gave him a shot.
They seen it. They seen it play, bro. They seen it.
Yeah. And you see when he talked about it, yeah, well, they just, he didn't say anything.
He said, if they're practicing and they're dropping balls, and if they're doing swings and they can't even get a pitch, well, look at you. Maybe they're depending on you to put the ball in the right place so they can catch it. What if it's you too? The communication's not there. That's something that you work on after practice, bro. You work on that connection after practice. Everybody on a field usually stays after practice to get a couple reps in and do things like that. Where was Jamarcus Russell at?
He was gone.
First one out, last one in, bro.
He was in the parking lot kicking it.
That's the sense that I got. Coaches, if you put in the work, and if you got a little smidget of this is what I want to do, but maybe you're not really a good athlete, or maybe you but there's way to learn things different.
Right.
It's like Renfro. He's not the fastest guy ever. He just runs a precise route. His route tree is perfect. So that's his advantage. Take advantage of what the coaches are telling you. Right off the bat, they didn't just dislike the guy.
Right.
Because if Al Davis got wind of a coach not giving him a fair shot, Al Davis will get rid of that dude.
No.
He was Al Davis's guy.
He even said he brought 2 of his quarterbacks over. No, he did, right? He did bring 2 of his quarterbacks over, right? He did, and I watched it, and he did. Kiffin or whoever came from Tampa Bay, whatever, right? Who came, and then he thought Hugh Jackson was going to give him the shot, right? And then even Al Davis is like, man, coach, they're not letting me whoop this, that, and third. So he's like, hang in there. So I believe that. You know what I mean? I believe Al Davis said that because Al Davis seen something in him, and I think he wasn't ready.
He was young. No, that's the smidget that I'm telling you about. He was young.
But see, we're gonna get all into that. You know what I'm saying?
Young, immature, rich.
Yeah,
he was rich. He was immature. That's the just immature, young, and rich are all bad. Those are all bad when you're in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm just going to give a shout out to everybody that's watching. Anybody's in the chat or anybody wants to jump on in, I threw the link in, StreamYard. Y'all come in. We're talking about Jamarcus Russell. We're going back and forth about, coach, team, and all that stuff. We already established Jamarcus Russell is the biggest bust because that's what he wants.
It is.
You know what I mean? So, but whatever. But no, we're talking about actually the dynamic of everything and stuff like that. I got a couple more points that we can kind of just go through. So anybody jumps on, come through. I sent a link to a couple other people too, so we'll see what's up. But piggybacking off of that, right? So remember so we're in the pivot. They turned around and he made a comment about Crowder said, hey, he said that on your team when they came out, LSU when they came out, these guys, there was 5 number 1 draft picks on that year coming off that team. So out of all those 5, I don't know who they are. If anybody knows in chat, throw them up there. I don't know if Gravy, if you know most of them. I didn't get a chance to look. I've just been too busy. But those 5 number 1 draft picks that came off that team, where are they at? I kind of want to see a comparison. You know what I mean? Hey, before we get into that, one of my good buddies, man, I haven't seen him in a long time. He had just last time I seen him, he had took off me and Gravy got him a beer. You know what I mean? Had a cigar with him, chopped it up a little bit. Give it up for my man. Ray the Squid, what's good, my brother?
What up?
What up?
Chilling, brother.
Man, so I didn't catch the interview because I was listening to everybody else talk about it, and I think I'm not gonna want to listen to it because from what it sounds like,
I think you need to because you're big mental health thing, right? So when I started looking at it, I started trying to not pick out everything, but look at everything, see where he was at, see how he's feeling. And then that's why I kind of like waited out to even do the show because it's the balance. Yes, he was a kid and all that stuff. Yes, he needed to be coddled. Was the team fucked up? Yes, it was. So it's like all these different negative things. Try to put anything so negative like that. You try to look at something positive out of it. So that's what the overall, like me even talking about it is.
It's just hard for me to want to listen to something where I'm getting the perspective that he didn't take ownership of it. And that's what it comes down to. I refuse to want to listen to something where you can say what you want, this and that. How many other guys are in this scenario? You're drafted number 1. You're going to a shit franchise. Let's be real. Call a spade a spade. We're not a good franchise. Let's be real. At the time we're recovering, and you don't take ownership of it. You can miss me. Apparently, he made a fucking attempt at talking about race. Like what?
Yeah,
guy, what? You understand what franchise you're like? No team in the NFL does what we do.
Yeah,
it's in our history. It's embedded. Ab does not care about that at all. It's about winning.
See, I just said that. We were saying that earlier. I don't know if we were talking about that shit earlier, but I was talking about McNabb, Moon, fucking Young. You know what I mean? Fucking Vic. All these guys came before him, and when he said that, I was like. Because I didn't want to touch on that, you know what I'm saying? That's just sensitive for me. You know what I mean? When he said that, I was like, okay, well, he's just trying to find it out. So that's where I kind of changed everything. You know what I mean? But I still listen.
Ownership of it, and maybe I will sit down. It's going to be hard for me not to go into it with my own bias of. If you would have come out and said I fucked up this and that, I'm going to respect you more as an adult and as a man. No one's. I get it.
That didn't happen.
But
that didn't happen.
Right. But you see, Gravy, we've had a conversation about that's all you were fucking wrong.
And I think
it was me.
As a Raider fan, if he would have came out and said that and owned it, I would have. Yeah, I'm not going to rock his jersey. I'm doing that shit. That jersey is burnt. And I never bought that jersey. But my respect as a man would have gone up more like, all right, cool, got it. You fucked up. We're all human. We all make huge mistakes. Let's be real.
Right.
No one's perfect, but you don't come out and do that. Nah, fuck you. Point blank. Nah, man, you miss me with that shit.
You see, Squid's military, so he knows what the hard work is, discipline, and things like that. Where is that from a guy that you expect so much from? If you don't even have those basic skills in you from a hard-nosed coach like Nick Saban, then you know what? I question that he held his hand as much as he did. I question that.
I don't think it was Nick Saban though, because Nick Saban's not at LSU. Who was at LSU?
He was at LSU and he won the national championship with Jamarcus Russell.
Nick Saban was before he went over to Bama?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. Well,
that just tells me right there, Squid. You young.
Hey, my bad. Hey, it's put me on.
Hey, he's been around for a minute. They've been around for a good fucking minute.
Yeah.
Nah, and then hearing which is Captain and them just had one of the writers talk about how at LSU they were babying him. They had to constantly get him up to go to class, grown man I hate babysitting grown adults. Like, it's not my, like, I don't want to do that. You're
in the military, so you do.
For real, like, my guys don't make me do that for real. Like, I've had to do that. It's not fun.
Right.
Like, you're grown. Yes, you're 18, 19 years old, but you're grown men and women. Like,
right.
I shouldn't have to try to get you to go to class. Like, what? Nah, man. When I didn't catch all the interview with Captain Jack and OG, but they had the writer of one of Al's books, the biography. It's a really good book. I've read it. I gotta pull it up. And they were talking about that, like when they were scouting him, that's what they got from the scouting was they constantly had to get him to class. They constantly had to get him on the bus. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
Nah,
you know,
man.
that's college. That's an excuse right there, Squid, because that's college. You know, once you get older, you get more mature, and then you know you don't need. If you wanted to be the best quarterback you can be in the NFL, if you did deserve that #1 pick, you would have worked hard, man.
Right.
You would have worked hard to make a statement to all these people. You guys doubted me. I'm gonna prove you wrong. See, none of that in them on it. None of that.
Nah.
Right.
None of that.
Okay. Hold up real quick, guys. I got another question, but I also got another guy just showing up. He's from down under. I hate saying that, bro, but you actually are from. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I got to do it, my brother. Hey, man, it's always having good conversation with him. I'm Kasi Raider. He's in the building. What's good, brother?
What up?
What's up, gang? Squid, Gravy, Dirty, and Ref. What's cracking?
Yes, sir.
What's up, my brother?
Just enjoying the day. How's your day going?
Yeah, it's midday now. Must be nighttime for you, nearly midnight, right?
Midday Friday. Midday Friday over there.
Yeah, so it's 8:00 us
You're
on
in the
Thursday.
future, as you like to say.
I always knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. On my podcast, I'm talking to this guy in the future. I always talk to you every time, bro. Every time. Nah. So okay, so you know we're kind of piggybacking off that. The question that I was gonna ask was so with Jamarcus, I hate saying this guy's name. It just hurts so much. So development in players, you hear it talked about all the time. Well, this player needs to come in. He needs to be with this player. He needs to develop. He needs to be behind this guy. The best players develop behind this guy. Woo, so forth and so forth. Everybody says it. Ruggs, even our people, I said it. He needs to develop. He can develop a little bit. Edwards, all this stuff. Why doesn't he get the benefit of that?
Because he didn't develop.
But he didn't have the okay. So now
he wanted to. I don't think he wanted to.
You don't think he wanted to?
He didn't have that in him, bro. He didn't have that. He didn't have that baller in him, dude. Like we say,
but he balled down in college though, and he won the ball. So that's
college. That's not college though.
Yeah, he didn't have no dog in him.
And I think that, I hate always having to talk about Carr, but one thing you can never question is Carr's heart. He may piss us off, like, let's be real, but the shit show that he's been dealt, there's no questioning that man's heart. At times, he lets us down, but you're not going to say he's not a competitor. All you know is that man comes in and fucking first one out. You've seen the pictures with Devontae and Chandler. He was the first one in the building.
Yeah.
And granted, yeah, it's a new team or whatever, but him or not even, let's go, what's his face, Leatherwood. And yeah, let's be real, it's 2023. Social media is a lot easier and we see a lot more. But Leatherwood, we can see the pictures of, he's been putting in work. You got to want to do that. You have to have that in you. And I think that's why he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. Because he didn't show that he wanted it. All you heard about was him out partying, doing everything but football.
Hey,
Abakasi ready to say something.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was at because it was I kind of rambled on, but Abakasi, you just jumped on, brother. Go ahead and answer that, and go ahead and bounce off that. It shows yours, and then after, if you want, go ahead and answer EJ Wall. You can kind of bounce off of that too.
That's all right. Look, I wanted you guys to finish first, of course.
Oh,
I don't
brother,
want to interrupt
please.
anyone. Shout out to the chat. What's going on? What's good, everyone? I see a few familiar names there. Auntie Six, EJ Raider, JT, my boy. Salute to you. Look, about what you were saying about how he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt and that. I mean, you know, sometimes, like I already shared my opinion on Raf's show,
Right.
but just to go off that and what you were saying, I mean, with these players, as soon as they make it to the professional level, and them still being young adults, they're not kids, they're young adults, but they're still. Again, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, I don't know, you remember how you were when you were a young adult at 21, 22, 23, when you have the pressures of an organization, the hopes and dreams of the fans, and the money being thrown out to you and their expectation, you know, it affects different people's mentality differently. I mean, guys like Carr, he's able to handle it as best he can. I mean, sometimes he has his moments too. Everyone does, you know, and that's okay. But, you know, guys like Jamarcus Russell, guys like, you know, that guy, I listened to his podcast. Hearing his story was an interesting one. Ryan Leaf. I don't know if you heard that, the Leaf story. That is actually a really good listen when you hear his perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the only thing that, like, I don't like sometimes is that sometimes it does sound like there is no accountability on Jamarcus Russell's end, which I can, you know, I can accept that. But at the same time, I don't believe he should share all of the blame. You know what I mean? Like, I think there was failures on both ends of the spectrum, from an organization standpoint, from his standpoint as well. And like we were saying yesterday, when it comes to mental health, back then there was no awareness about, like, you know, checking to see if they're okay upstairs. It was all like, what can they do on the field? You know what I mean? And let's face fact, like, Jamarcus Russell, he had all the talent, like, from a physical standpoint. I mean, there's a reason why we chose him. It's not because, like, that we just, like, pulled a name randomly out the hat. He had a lot of things to like on tape. He just didn't have it all together upstairs. And maybe in this day and age where there's more awareness to those things, he could have possibly made it better. But, you know, we'll never know. Again, like, you know, I'm not going to totally leave him unaccountable, because there is things that he should have done better too. I'm kind of on your side of the fence, Dirty Low. I don't think Jamarcus shoulders all the blame. And I personally don't find myself disliking him as a Raider the way I dislike guys like Damon Arnett, the way I dislike guys like Rolando McClain. I really loathe those guys. But I hate what Jamarcus did for the organization in the end, but I don't dislike him the way I dislike those guys.
Right. So, like, okay, so for people that don't know that when we're on Raf's show yesterday, you know, Akasi was saying basically around that time, he was basically going kind of through the same thing in his life at that age and really didn't have the support. So it's like, you know what I mean? So when you see that, you have to question some of it. And that's why, like, you know, obviously, you know, it is what it is. But it's just a good, it's a good, like, tell of, like, how you can look at the situation. You know what I mean? How people can grow, how people can develop, what people need. You know what I mean? This can be used off the field. Because if you have, like, somebody like Derek Carr that has the brother that played in the NFL, the dad that's a coach, has all the support, look at him. He knows when a bad situation, he's going to stick through it. He knows adversity. This kid did it.
Didn't Jamarcus's, sorry to interrupt, didn't his role model, the guy he looked up to, I think I've heard on a documentary before, the one guy who was his, you know, the confident and role model, passed away around that period. And that really took a toll.
He was sick. He was sick real bad.
He was sick real bad. He didn't pass away. He was just sick.
Okay.
He had a seizure. Right. He had a seizure. He lost his mom. And I understand that. You know, I understand all that. And sorry to hear about that for the guy. But like I said, Afakasi, there's hundreds of players that go through the same shit and they pan out. They put in the work. They know it's a job. You know, he had a job to do. It's like you going to work and you doing it half-assed, they're going to notice it.
Oh, yeah.
People are going to notice that. And then you got paid so much money during that time period. It's changed now, but during that time period, rookies got paid better than Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
He's the reason we have the cap now for rookies. Like, let's just be real.
Him and Bradford.
Right. The reason we got that, like, so in a good part, he did that, like, implemented. There's an issue with that, but all those red flags were there.
Right.
Like, if you go in and you hear it, that was Al Davis's pick, and we love Al.
Right.
That was Al, but that was an Al Davis pick.
Right.
Al did not care. This is my guy. This is who we're picking.
Right.
The Scouts did not want Jamarcus. Like, I just put
fell
up the
in love
list
with
right now.
people. He fell in love with people, and then that was it.
It hurts to see that the fucking number 2 pick is a Hall of Famer right now. A deserving Hall of Famer in fucking Calvin Johnson.
Who was the number 2? Calvin Johnson?
Calvin Johnson.
Right.
And number 3 should be one. If it Joe Thomas will probably be wearing a fucking gold vest.
So in other words, Calvin Johnson would have been catching passes from Jeff Garcia.
I mean, potentially. Yeah, you start doing the what ifs, but he went to Detroit. Like, let's just be real. Very similar to us. Like,
I think Jason Campbell was up.
Hold it down real quick, brother.
We probably would have taken, because remember a couple of years after that we took a wide receiver in Darius Hayward-Bayes, so the roles may have been, just hypothetically speaking, reversed, where if we'd have taken Calvin Johnson that year, the next year or the year after the next year we took Darren McFadden. The year after was when we took Darius Hayward-Bayes, so maybe that year we could have taken a quarterback. I can't remember the quarterback class from 2009, but yeah, could have been different.
yeah, I don't like doing the what ifs because we know things change or whatever, but it still hurts to see number 2 Megatron, number 3 Joe Thomas. Like,
there's a few of those in the first round from that decade, huh? Where you just look at the names after the picks we made.
Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, like, oh man, I'm so glad we have right now in scouting. Potentially, we'll see. A lot will tell in the future. And I guess
but you could have guys. You could have so many scouts out there that say, "Hey, Megatron's the pick. Megatron's the pick." You know, Lane Kiffin got fired because of that.
yeah.
Lane Kiffin got fired. He didn't want to get this dude. So when it happened, you know, when Lane Kiffin goes, well, I ain't got no say. No coach ever did, unless you were cool with them.
Nope.
But all these scouts and all these hundreds of thousands of miles that they travel and hours that they look at film and see these guys do drills and stuff in their own schools, it doesn't matter because Al Davis was the type of figure that it's his way or you're gone. So I blame Al Davis. You know, it was dementia Al Davis then, but it was just with Jamarcus in an interview like that, I thought he should have came forth better with more facts, with more. This is who did this to me. You know, this is what's happened. You know. I thought he should have. If people are calling you a bust and you don't like it, if you want to be the biggest bust, that's a joke to me that you didn't care. If you're gonna call me a bust, call me the biggest bust. All right, then you're the biggest bust that was ever picked.
Yeah, I didn't like that comment so much either. Just
so that right there showed me, Avocasi, that he agrees with it or he doesn't give a shit.
Maybe it's a case of him just, I guess, owning up to it now. Like, it rubs me the wrong way the way he said it, but I mean, I guess he's just kind of
the way you talk about. So what did Ryan Leaf say? Because now I'm intrigued to hear what Ryan Leaf said. Because the way you,
what I did was when I was at work, if you, he's put his whole story out on Spotify, and I listened to it. Was like a 10. That's the first time I've listened to 10 parts of a podcast, just bendering it like the way I would a Netflix series, and just listening to him telling his story and. Like the way he's telling it is like, like I fucked up majorly. Every time he highlighted a point of his life, it wasn't just like, oh, they were doing this. So it was just like, I did that. I fucked up. And then when I couldn't make a situation worse, I made it worse by doing this and doing that. This is why I did it. But you know what? Like that's all on me. Like, it was just, it was really refreshing. It was really good listening to hearing him and his side of the story, but also he was making no excuses. It was just like, yeah, I did that. Like, I'm an idiot.
See,
you know what I mean?
And really, I'd be interested in hearing that. Because I do like hearing people. Yeah, I do like hearing people's stories of who they are and what got them. Like, got it. Things happen.
And if you look at him now, he's actually doing really well for himself. Like, he's now like an analyst back on ESPN and that. So, you know, I like stories like that when people hit rock bottom and even below rock bottom. You know what I mean? And are able to climb out and, you know, make the best of a bad situation and turn their lives around. You know what I mean? I like.
So now we're talking about that. So now think about it like this: in a matter of 3 years that this player has played, he has went from absolutely not even in the NFL to the number one, in my eyes, tight end that plays for my team. Well, that fool is only getting what? And we're fucking questioning why we should pay this man? Look at this.
Why we should pay him?
No, well, people have been like, I can pay him. He should earn it because he's under contract, which technically he is. You hear it. You know, people say that. Everybody has different opinions. I'm not specifically writing down everybody who said it, but, you know, you hear that shit. You know what I mean? Even when we have different discussions, he should play out the contract. He needs to earn it because he didn't do that. After all the bullshit, he's still, look at what he done. So, and then me and Gravy, when we're talking about it, he's like, man, he goes, look at Marshawn Lynch. I was like, oh shit. And I was gonna name it the Princess and the Beast or some shit like that, but like not like that. But no, but if you really think about Lynch, look at Lynch. One thing I watched the pivot, bro, this fool turn around, never seen his dad off and on. He made the fucking final thing to go see his dad in prison. His dad died. He never had the conversation with his dad, but he still was a fucking beast mode. That right there is a different type of person. Now, no matter what, no matter all the bullshit, no matter all the fuck ups, he still ran through people's faces. He had to show people, and he's still a good person. The shit that I seen with Jamarcus was when he looked at the camera, I still got this money. Like, bro, you got money, bro. And you're talking God, but anybody can talk about, hey, I can paint a Picasso, but you ain't Picasso, bro. You feel me? So it's like you have to. I don't know, man. It's frustrating because it's like I really want the guy to fucking. I wanted to get the right thing out of it, and I got absolutely nothing out of it. At first, I was excited, but bro, it's like nothing. He doesn't see the fault. He doesn't see that. He doesn't see that he just came up. That's it. I'm not mad at him
for himself.
Right.
And that clip of Marshawn dancing in Oakland, and then you hear the clip of him telling fucking what's his face, the DB, for Thanksgiving that he's got to go hand out turkeys. He's got to do right by his community. Like, that's just genuine Marshawn. Like, he loves it. I'm not from the Bay, but he loves the town, and I mean, I have nothing but love for it. When you hear athletes constantly wanting to give back to their community, like a rough community, and he came from it. He constantly gives back. Like, that's genuine. You can never question Marshawn. Like, nah. You can see it in his facial expressions. Like, he's just real with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, it was all on him. The ball was in his court, and he didn't take advantage of it.
And like you said, the talent was there. The man could fucking throw 80 yards falling down on his ass. Like,
yeah.
Well, he could have 60 yards on his knee.
Yeah.
Did he do that? And that's the moment that Al Davis allegedly fell in love with him.
Yeah.
Like, on off his knee, 60 yards.
Damn it.
Yeah. That's crazy stuff, brother. Crazy stuff, man. So like, okay,
not only that, bro. He was a man around boys when he played in college, bro.
Can I ask a question?
It was unheard of. It was unheard of how big he was.
Do you? So what if Jamarcus, if he did have it all together upstairs, do you think he would still be playing and be our quarterback?
Now, he probably in his 40s. Nah, he might be in his late 30s.
mean, it's not unheard of. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still in the league, and he was drafted the year before him, wasn't he?
Yeah. If he was a whole different guy, what you're saying, Avakazi, I think.
Yeah, if he did have it all together upstairs,
I think he probably would have got a second contract, and then if it panned out, the wins were the same when he got in there and then when he left.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Campbell came in after him or during when he was there, and took the team to a whole different level. I thought we played better with Jason Campbell than we did with Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, Jason Campbell to me is the best quarterback we've had outside of Derek Carr for the last, my time as a fan, in my opinion, for the last 12 years.
Oh. Jason Campbell, for me, I liked his playing style. Him and Hugh Jackson. Jackson, right? Hugh Jackson? Yeah.
Hugh Jackson. Was that coach there?
But he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. He was slow. Jason Campbell was a good quarterback. You know what I mean? Could move, wasn't the fastest, but his release was slow, bro. Like, he had this long ass arms, bro. So by the time he got it all the way back here, it's already 2 seconds. You know what I mean? By the time he releases, and he used to get hit a lot. So, but yeah,
he didn't do anything great. He was just solid when he needed. When we were starting to turn the page, and then you're right, he got injured, and we made that stupid ass trade for
Palmer.
Mm-hmm. And that set us further back for the next couple of years after that.
Yeah, and then we got rid of that was just crazy stuff, man.
You really got me thinking.
Hugh Jackson's demise right there.
Damn.
Hey, All Eyes, real quick, guys. All Eyes, man. I got your text message, bro. It's been crazy last couple of days, bro. I will be talking to you soon. I'll hit you up later on today. But thank you, bro. Thank you for showing up, man. Yeah, me and Grave. Yeah. All Eyes, hit me up, bro. I just hit me up.
I like his comment there too. With Jason Campbell, you actually felt he was trying out there to win. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Bruce Gradkowski was the other guy. You could, they weren't the best quarterbacks, but they were doing everything they could. They wanted to win. They had heart.
Hey,
Gradkowski was a little dog too. If he got in there,
Bruce Almighty.
If he was in there, I would be happy with him.
Yeah, no, he was a little scrapper, bro. Like, I remember that I think it was Jamarcus Russell came out or something like that, or didn't play or some shit, and then Charlie Fry was in. He got hurt, then Gronkowski came in against the Steelers, and then we were going back and forth, and for some reason we always beat the Steelers, bro. It was a shit year. And I remember that we're like, we're all drugged.
You remember everybody chanted Bruce?
Yeah.
What he lacked in physical skills, he made up for with heart, determination, and grit. He was just a gritty, grimy player. I mean, he's not like the best starter, but he's definitely a solid, backup to have. I wish we had someone like him behind Carr.
He had it up here, bro. He had it up here.
Yeah. And here.
Yeah. He went to Toledo.
Yeah, my stepdad was in actually Toledo. He's in New Mexico area. He was in that area, and so he knew him from the college over there. All right, so let's see. So another thing that they said was Al Davis at the time, because he was kind of in his later days, you know what I mean, getting closer to, not be able to actually fully function, the organization, you know what I mean? So where it left a lot of people, I think, just like doing what they wanted to do on their own.
Looking at positions real quick.
With that being said, do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Like, I mean, overall, like, do you think that what the fuck was I talking about, dude? I just fucking went blank right now. Sorry.
Had a brain pot.
Yeah. Oh, with Albert Davis. Okay, Al Davis on his way out. That's what I was talking about. My bad. Al Davis on his way out, really not able to fully function the team and get all that stuff with Lane Kiffin coming in, and then what's name running around doing whatever he was doing. Do you think that it was just like a shit show all the ways around? Like, even regarding negate Marcus Russell.
He was remorseful.
You know what I mean? Hey, who's listening to somebody? Somebody listening to SC.
Shout out to her.
I was wondering what that was. It was
that was Squid.
Squid.
Yeah.
He's probably working or something.
Fucking SE. But yeah, brother. So like, I don't know, man. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that it could just actually be more along the lines like everybody was just running amok? Because Cable never became a head coach again, and neither did Kiffin. You know what I mean? So
In the NFL.
in the NFL, right? But Tom Cable was never a head coach again.
No, he only goes to Ring.
Yeah. Well, you know,
He messed up both his opportunities. He messed both of them up.
Yeah, that's. I think so. I mean, overall,
you know, he was in the declining part of his life, and some of the decision making was questionable at that point. And again, like I don't want to disrespect Al. Like, I mean, he's done well for those few things. Like he made the few things that his decision making was questionable. He did a lot more that was right for the organization. He did a lot for our organization. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's the godfather.
It's not just the organization, the league. He's
the league
for the league that like
league in life, like everything. You know, he's done so much, but just those last few years, a lot of his decision making ultimately put us in a bit of a hole, which we didn't manage to get out of until that 2014 draft, to be honest.
Yeah.
It took us a while.
Mm-hmm. So I think.
What do you think, Ruffy? What you think, Ruffy?
Rafi, I know you haven't really been saying much. I know you've been writing down and stuff like that. So talk to us, Raf.
All right, so I just thinking about it because I just put a trade right here. When you're thinking about the Raiders nation right here, we'll be talking about the Raiders team. Just take a look at these players right here, just like Ken Stabler, Rich Gannon, also Richard Seymour, Lester Hayes, John Maiden, Al Davis. Also, there's Jerry Rice. Those names became part of the generation. Jamarcus Russell, it's not part of the generation because I said it once and I said it twice. It's a fucking clown. It's a waste of time. But as the Raiders nation right here, we just saw a brand new generation right here for players like Matt Crosby, also Ronto Renfro, Devontae Adams, David Carr. You can name all of them about this brand new generation right here. Belong to the new era of Josh Mantanos and Dave Ziegler. But we can never forget the legacy when it comes to the players, including Charles Woodson, which is the greatest one. And all these players have left either the legacy right here for the Raiders nation. But if we're talking about those players right here who define the generation of wearing the silver and black pride, we are experimenting something good because those players are define everything. So we can talk about Ken Stabler, also Lyle Saldo, everything about with the players. That's why, because the Raiders are the team for the decades. We just won 3 Super Bowls at the decade of the 70s and at the decade from the 80s. So right now we're worried about it because we as a Raiders nation right here don't fuck with us. And before I leave right here, I just wanted to tell you salute to everybody else, Dirty Low, Gravy, Raider Squid, and of course Afakasi Raider. And of course, I just wanted to say to everybody else, El Capitan Rafael has always support for all these content creators right here. And last thing before I leave right here, we're a nation for life, motherfucker. Don't fuck with us.
Get him,
Alan, buddy. All right, Rafi. Hey, I know you're going to be coming up with the show soon, so anybody that's in the chat, go ahead and check out Raf, El Capitan. He's going to have a couple shows going on this season coming up. So, Rafi, thank you. Always appreciate it, man. I can't wait to your next show. I'll be watching or I'll be on, brother.
All right. Energy. I love that new attitude, Raf. You keep being you.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, we're going. All right, before we get into this, we got another crazy man. Love this man. But sometimes, man, I gotta get him. You guy, you Jack, you. All right, everybody go say what's up to our brother Jack. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up? What salute, brothers? How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Man, I wish I would have caught the show from the beginning. I was on Captain's show, so
you know what?
I caught you guys on. It's good to see you guys, man. Ozzy, D-Lo, Gravy, Raw, Squid. Man, these are all my brothers. You guys are all my brothers, dude. I love this.
I'm not Ozzy, man.
Ozzy?
I am Ozzy, but Ozzy Raid is a different guy.
Yeah.
Ozzy. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm mispronouncing.
You'll be able to tell. Yeah, you'll be able to tell that that's different, Jay.
Yeah.
So it's good to see all you guys on. So I posted a question. So, there's a lot of chat about Sue. And Sue made like $9 million last year.
Okay.
And Sue is like one of those players.
This one right here.
He wants his money. He does want his money. So right now it's between us and Minnesota. But at $9 million, and I've asked this question to you guys, probably seen this, all you guys. I've asked this question over and over and over. Hey, if we don't use the cap money this year, does it go to next year? I've heard different opinions. I got different people tell me different things. I don't know the true answer. But if we could use our $24 million and kind of sign after cut some low-key players, because we've got a great team, but we have Waller next year. Waller will be on his final year next year. We have 2 years right now. Use that money for Waller. Would you guys rather sign Sue at $9 million and don't leave very much? We only got $3.6 million next year, or save that money and sign Waller? Personally, I want Waller. What do you guys say?
I don't know much about the whole thing, but what I do know is right now with this offseason, this squad, this front office has completely cleared our fucking debt. Obviously, you're always going to be in debt because you're in the NFL and you have to pay players, so on and so forth. But all the shit contracts, all the bullshit, it's all gone. You never hear none of this shit over here where they were doing it before. You don't hear no bullshit. So, you know what they're going to do? If it's going to work for us, they're going to get Sue and they're going to pay him. They're going to work it out. It's going to get worked out. So all these years when we say, we can go into depth to have conversations and man, woo, woo, this player, woo, woo. These guys are going to put the players that we need, that we can afford to win championships. That's what they're going to do. And they're not going to be just straight up oh, Sue, big names. It's never been that.
No. But, I also feel like this is really, truly could be the year. I mean, this really could truly be the year. You look at the players that are, if contracts going away, like Josh Jacobs and Abrams and Farrell. Those contracts are all gone next year, and all the one-year players. And then we have, if you leave everything alone and you move the salary cap over 3.6 mil, we do nothing. Then we got that 24 mil on top of that. So, right. I mean, as a GM, my mind is spinning. What do I want to do? What do I want to do?
All of it, brother.
I'm sure they will work it out.
It's exciting. So, guys, this is the most exciting year since 2001. If you guys haven't been Raider fans that long or alive and watching this stuff, the year we got Jerry Rice that come over, guys like Charlie Gardner, guys like that. It's we made a Super Bowl push. This is the most exciting year.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Jack, I don't believe it works like that with the salary caps to say if you've got money left over from this year, you can put it on to next year and use it next year on top of however much you've got left over towards the salary cap. I think it resets year in, year out.
And that was my belief. But I've had guys I've had 2 content creators tell me, yes, it transfers over. I've had 3 other content creators say, no, it doesn't transfer over. So I've been posting that same question. If you guys watch everyone else's shows, I've been posting that same chat on everyone's channel. So I just got up Captain. Captain agrees with Dirty. All the money moves over. Everyone else I've talked to says no. So there's a disconnect with our nation of what happens with the salary cap if we don't use it this year. Honestly, I'm confused. I'm baffled. I keep asking it over and over and over.
All right, so hey, Squid, do you know this answer or not? We'll go to Gravy.
Nah, I'm trying to look it up right now, and it looks like it talks about you have to use a certain percentage of it. Is what I'm I'm going on multiple ones, and I think that's what I'm. 1 sec.
Okay. Grave, you have any insight, bro?
See, that's thing that we don't know. I mean, as fans,
From my understanding, it's their money, so they're liable to do whatever they want with it if they want to roll it over. And I agree with Squid too that they probably have to use a certain percentage of it.
Right.
And if it's $20 million, the percentage is there already, so they can move it over. But
And for mine, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And to get on the Sue, I'm done with Sue. I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, Sue is like, interesting because like Sue is like a 4-3 guy. And if we look at what Graham wants to do in the base, he's more of a 3-4 guy. So, but he says he changes everything up. They'll play to the player's strength. So we don't know what he wants to do until we see him for a year.
Check this out, Jack. Let me tell you something, okay? And Gravy can kind of understand. I don't know if we talked about this yet. So this whole time I've been playing golf wrong. Every time when I put my hands on the club, and even though I can play, I've been playing wrong, right? So you get used to it. Your muscle memory, you get used to it. Shots wrong, you adjust for it. You're practicing wrong, right? Now I'm learning how to actually put my hand, and I'm learning. So now it's different. It's different. It feels uncomfortable. It doesn't feel right. I'm using different muscles. That's Raiders, the way we are, the way we were, the way we are now. It's a whole new thing that's going to get me better and it's going to make this team better. You know what I mean? I'm just using that as an analogy. That me placing my hand the right way now I can practice the right way. Now I can get the shots that I want to get the right way. We're doing it the right way now. We got everything we need. So do you think they're going to come in and worry about some money? Nope.
So this is what I've been seeing on doing a few searches, and it says teams are required by the CBA to spend at least 89% of the cap. And then it goes into like all the other ones are saying you have to notify the league. At least from a quick 2-second Google search, like combined, that's what I'm saying is you have to use a chunk of it, and if you don't, you have to notify the NFL. Hey, this is what I planned on, just being aware of financial. Because I mean, let's be real. It is a business, and you have to let people know where I brought in so much money or whatever, and this is what I plan on doing with my money or whatever. So,
right, because the franchise basically, like, say it's a franchise.
A certain percentage you can transfer over. Like, you can't take it all, but you can take some of it.
Yep.
Maybe that's why there's such a disagreement on like my question.
Yeah.
But see, we gotta look at it like this too. Look at all these other teams that they're over the cap, they're under the cap, they're all of a sudden, boom, it's just done. Then they're paying players up front because they have money. So it's like, even though it's there and it's not, and it's kind of a fictitious number because one way or another, these players are still getting money. It's not on paper, and I don't have any facts on that. But yet there's millions and billions of dollars revenue coming in there. They're going to have the top-notch lawyers. They're going to word shit right. They're going to do this. They're going to do that to make it work. NFL's been doing it for years. They know what they're doing. So it's just talking points. Some of these contracts are contracts. They're ghost contracts.
You can also look back at an Al Davis. I was listening to you guys talk about, when Al Davis, kind of got older and stopped doing wiser things and like kind of being senile. He wanted to win every year. So he was a big guy about pushing money back. Like what the Rams are doing now. The Rams won a Super Bowl, so it worked out. For Al, it didn't work out. So we lost guys like Charles Woodson going to Green Bay. We signed Richard Seymour. We lost him the same year. So 2 Hall of Fame players because we had no cap. That's why we hired Reggie McKenzie from Green Bay, because Green Bay doesn't run the cap like that. They're owned by their public. So you play the contract that you have, and then you're gone. There's no dead money. That's why Reggie came back to the Raiders. So I was glad for him. I was sad to see those guys go because they're Hall of Fame players. And when Woodson left, it hurt me. I mean, really, Seymour wasn't so bad, but, Woodson hurt me. But, so I'm glad to see that. We only have one guy right now, just one. And Andre James has been pushed out 2 extra years. So I don't mind if we do that now. Short term, just don't go back to what Al did and kept pushing it back every single year to where you limit yourself in the team that you can actually sign.
So, Jack, you're doing exactly what I was doing on the golf course. You keep on going back to the same old shot. There's no point no more.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it all affected us and all that stuff. Like, so even after this, right now, I'm kind of an all or nothing guy. I'm like, let's talk about it. Let's get to the result. This is how I feel about it. To put a stamp in it, put that shit away. That was kind of like the whole point of this, because it can go on and a layer, blah, blah, blah. We can blame this person, this person, this person. When it came down to it, all of the blame ends up on Jamarcus Russell. So now we just put an end to it. So like now we don't ever have to talk about this shit anymore. It's done. It's over.
Yeah. Well, nobody likes Jamarcus, not even me. It's like when they drafted him, I thought he was going to be the guru of like quarterbacks, throwing from his knees, throwing 50 yards, thinking that he was going to be awesome. And the guy is a Trent Brown. I mean, absolutely lazy.
Trent Brown's a Pro Bowler though when he's actually playing.
Yeah, but he wasn't a Pro Bowler with us. He was a Pro Bowler with New England. But when he came over here, he didn't even participate with team stuff. He got all big and fat and like got lazy and like, oh, I'm hurt all the time, and he probably wasn't even hurt.
The difference
listen.
He went back and kept
like FAB too.
Organization, brother. Check this out. Organization almost fucking killed the guy. I wouldn't play for it, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like
he checked out.
We're humans, man. We're humans, regardless of good, bad, whatever we're not. He worked his ass off through the Niners to get there, and then he didn't even get the bag. He got the bag with us, and then we almost killed his ass. And COVID hit. Everything's like, what do you?
So you're saying it's the Raiders' fault that he did bad?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, he's gonna be called one of the best tackles.
He's going to the Hall of Fame
in the next 10 years.
Gravy, you're gonna call him a Hall of Fame player? He's not Hall of Fame.
I said Hall of Fame.
He will be in the Hall of Fame.
But yeah, bro, he's a great.
Look, as much as I'm mad that he didn't be successful with us, because I seen the opportunity. Damn, our rushing is gonna be top notch.
When he was on the field for us, though, he was good. When he
was on the field, we kicked ass. We went to Kansas City. He was on the field when we beat Kansas City at that badass game.
The first year,
games after that. That was a couple of games.
He's the best right tackle we've had in the last 12 years. That's how bad the position's been.
He's the best. He probably is the best, like talent wise, since Lincoln Kennedy.
Yeah.
Oof.
Can we get that position solved, please?
I agree.
I'm so over it.
I think Lincoln Kennedy could probably play right now over there.
Yeah, shit. Bring Donald Penn back too. Fuck it. We're doing that.
Well, if Alex Leatherwood can step up and make that position his own, that'd be fantastic. I'm going to wait.
Gravy, do you think Leatherface is going to take over at right tackle, or you think it's going to be Parker again? Or
you can't bad name that guy. He's only been there 2 years though, Jack.
Well, you know what? I badmouth Miller and now I praise him.
Yeah.
Right.
So I say you got to give him time. I do agree. You got to give him time, and it's a different scheme. Leatherwood is a better run power blocking right tackle. He's not a zone blocking right tackle, so he will do better. But when you put him on an island. And you look at the island that the AFC West has this year, Khalil Mack, coming back. All the defensive ends that are in our division. We need a tight end or running back on that side every single time.
You know what else is nice though? You know who's got to go up against every day of practice? Chandler Jones.
Yep.
He's got some learning to do with our guys, and I think that's where
he's going to be against Crosby or both.
Yeah, exactly.
Against both.
He had good guys last year too with Max and Yannick. So, but he's going to grow. So he's a rookie last year. So it took Miller 3 years. And I will say this to all the old fans that know this game.
Right.
It took a Hall of Fame player in Cliff Branch until year 3 to get it. Cliff Branch didn't do crap until year 3. And then after that, he went off. So it takes time for these guys to learn and develop going from a college scheme to the NFL. It takes time. So I will give him that.
Right, but when we were like Gravy was even saying, Gravy was saying that, you know what I mean? That is true, but he didn't put the work in. He was lazy. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like there's stories like this. It's just they just make it a bigger deal because it was us. Now, how you're talking about the cap and all that stuff, and you're saying about this, that, and how it's going to move over and all that stuff like that, and why the cap is now the way it is because of Bradford and our man, Jamarcus Russell. So that's why there's the cap in place. That's why there's certain things that are in place for this. You can spend so much because they were just willy-nilly. And I think the NFL kind of helped Raiders in a sense, and it sounds kind of crazy because they knew that he was going out. They let him go with it. They tried to bankrupt the team a little bit to see if they could pull it out, and they did. But I think it was kind of a smash job if you really want to get into it. I don't want to, but it's my theory.
Well, you look at like Jamarcus. Back in those days, the guy was getting $30 million a year as a rookie. No. And the cap space is so much lower. So these quarterbacks really took out the legs and the knees of all the teams. So
it was guaranteed.
Goodbye to those old days. Good thing that the quarterbacks have to earn it a little bit more than what they were back then. Because you look at them.
Every player has to earn it. Like, those overblown contracts in the first, in the draft before the whole contract situation changed. I mean, it wasn't just the quarterbacks getting paid; it was everybody who was getting paid. Players were holding out, not signing their contracts until they get the dollars that they want. I mean, I think it's fair that now that it's changed, that you've got to prove it before you earn the big bucks in the league. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain amount that you play the players per round, if I'm not mistaken, but it's not like these crazy contracts like 30 mil, 60 mil when they haven't even taken a snap. It's just ridiculous.
Exactly. I agree. It's like, you look at like Baker Mayfield. I mean, he was the number one pick overall. So going into this year, he was like $18 million guaranteed. And compared to a guy like Jamarcus Russell, where the cap was like way lower at around 30 million, and Baker's getting paid 18 million this year. So it's smart by the NFL doing what they're doing, because it just ruined teams for years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they did that.
No matter what people say about Baker Mayfield, you could tell that he has grit, he has heart, and then he works hard, and he listens to his coaches, and then that he wants to win. And maybe this transition that he made might make him a better quarterback. Maybe he deserves another contract or something like that. But Jamarcus it was just mistake over mistake over mistake over mistake. And you didn't see no dog in him. You didn't see this. All it was excuses. Well, I didn't have nobody to teach me this. I don't have this and that. Well, I'm sorry we couldn't afford Nick Saban to go to the Raiders, bro. But if he would have been there, he probably would have helped your hand just like he did at LSU. They don't babysit in the NFL. They don't do that.
Yeah.
If you need that attention so much, we should be thankful that Jamarcus Russell was a bust, because he's the one that stopped all that rookie shit from having all these high contracts before Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, that's why
that's the only good thing that came out of Jamarcus Russell to me.
No, that's what's frustrating to me with all this is that Jamarcus done is 2023. He was a pick in 2007. I stopped caring about his ass years ago. He resurfaced, and it's the same shit. Like, nothing changed. My opinion, not in the slightest. I get the organizational piece. I got that sort of, but I know my history. I know about Al. Like, I know all that already. So for you to come out and Stu mentioned part of it with the whole holding out, and he kind of explained some of that with not, like, he did break that down for us a little bit about the whole, that wasn't completely him. Got that. Cool. Appreciate the explaining that part with the holdout. Don't hold that against him completely because it's a business. But outside of that, nothing changed. You still don't take ownership of it. Go back to being go do what you got to do in high school in Alabama or whatever you're doing. Wish you nothing but the best, but you're not a Raider, my guy. So we have this season to think about, and looking at what we have in front of us, like it's exciting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, absolutely.
I encourage you, Squid, to watch the video. Then you will see exactly what how the way you're talking is kind of like what I see in them. But if you watch the video and you could tell his the way he feels and the way he thought about with his playing days, you would understand why he got traded the way he did in the NFL. You would know why.
Well, you look at Jamarcus, like
it wasn't none of that.
Who else did Jamarcus play for? Nobody wanted him.
He got a shot.
I mean, Sam Darnold got a chance. Baker's getting a chance. Quarterbacks are getting a second chance. Nobody even wanted to even test him or even want him. Yeah. Because you know what? I look at him and like you guys seen this. You guys are all Raider brothers. You guys seen this. You guys saw Trent Brown balloon up before he came to the Raiders, then after he came to the Raiders. You see Jamarcus Russell, and you see him balloon up, before he went to the Raiders and then after he went to the Raiders. It just tells me you have no passion, no drive, no nothing that you want to play.
Yep. Hey, real quick, looking at Baker Mayfield, he's got a pretty low-key team out there in Carolina with Robbie Anderson as receiver one. If DMC could ever stay healthy, that's a top 3 running back in the league if he stays healthy. Like, that's not a bad situation to go to.
Yeah. Hey, look, Robbie Anderson, trip out. This is going to kind of coincide with that. Robbie Anderson said when Baker Mayfield got traded, he was like, oh, and everyone was like, what does that mean? Tweeted some shit, right? And he was like, man, there's no disrespect. Everyone took it as disrespect. He goes, it wasn't. He goes, I felt my boy Sam. He goes, because me and him came close because I was over there with him. And we came over here. And that's, even though we're different, we're on the same page. He didn't get developed right at this age.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever. He didn't get a fair shake. So, you know what I mean? At this day and age, he didn't get a fair shake.
You have 2 quarterbacks that could compete, though. You have Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Who's going to want it more?
Yeah. It's fucked up. See, I think Baker Mayfield's gonna take over. I think so, but I think.
Well, let me ask you this, guys. With Baker coming from Cleveland,
Darnold's a good, damn good quarterback, bro. Check this out. But he went to the Jets, and now he went over there, and then they're fucking bringing all this, bro. Sam Darnold got a fucked up shake, and even though, regardless of whatever, was he the number one? He was the number one, right?
Number 3.
Okay, well, still.
Baker was number 1.
I thought Baker was the same year, number 1.
Yeah. Right, but I'm saying Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, number 3.
Okay.
Baker, number 1.
Right. So
same year.
So both of them are basically considered busts. And if you really, really look at it, they're considered busts. The only thing with Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, both of them combined have way more fucking experience than Jamarcus ever did. And probably got less money than both of them.
True.
But he didn't. But Sam Darnold didn't get a fair shake. So at certain points, everybody needs that fair shake. Everybody needs that team. Now, when it comes to Gravy, like Gravy was saying, he didn't put that effort in. Sam Darnold does. Baker Mayfield does. Playing with a fucked up shoulder, doing this. It's almost reminiscent of Derek Carr. Broken back, broken finger, coming. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of respect for fucking Baker Mayfield, bro. Everyone gives him shit, and he's this and he's that, bro. I got a lot of respect for that cat.
So, question for the panel. So, who do you think is going to start? Sam Darnold or Baker, and give your reason why.
Go for it, Squid.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just curious about the competitive room where they have both of them are in a position to compete. Who's going to want it more, Baker or Sam Darnold? I think, from my understanding, from doing the vague that I hear, I mean, I don't care about these teams to be real. Fuck
right.
Them. But I'm curious who's going to win it. Who's going to want that spot? It could be Matt Corral for all I care. Like,
yeah, no shit on it. Hopefully, it was.
Like, whatever. Who wants it more?
Yep. Shit, let me think. So that's pretty much that. Guys, you have anything about Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold? What do you think? I already know your answer, but I just want to hear you say it.
He doesn't give a
With
shit.
all due respect, Jack, I love you, brother. If they ain't Raiders, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The only reason why I asked that question, guys, because Baker had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. It had one of the better defensive lines in the NFL. It had one of the best wide receivers crew going out there. And definitely the best running back crew in the NFL. So if I'm going to give my just pure play, I'm going to say Sam Darnold, just because Baker had all the weapons in play and he did nothing with it. So that's the only reason why I asked your question. Just wanted to see, like, you know, the techniques of what you guys were going to say based on the talent they had around them. I don't give a crap about any of those teams either. Dude, it's Raiders all day, every day, 100%.
Oh, yeah. It's a good conversation, brother. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, Jack. Like, I know what the point you were trying to make. I was just giving my own personal perspective and take. Like, if it's not Raider football, don't give a shit about these other teams.
Don't give a shit.
About these other no.
You know, it's like, you know, I've been listening to, like, shows tonight. It's like talking about, like, you know, okay, about our offensive line. Yes, I think our offensive line is the worst in the AFC West. But at number one, we're the number one going to be scoring offense, the number one yard getter, the number one offense in the AFC West too. So it's going to be kind of like the Bengals were last year. So. You know, and I listen to people say, "Oh, we're 8.5 points, or 8.5 points, or 8.5. Like we're going to win 8.5 games." Hell's no, dude. We went 10-7 last year with no coach, no Henry Ruggs, and Carr put the team on his back. And we're a way better team this year than last year. So it's kind of funny just listening to people talk. It's like, it's funny.
It's going to take more than 10 games to win this division. The reality is, I've said
the other team got better too as well. Huh? Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, we were saying.
I was saying, like, we should be getting better, but at the same time, we got to look at the other teams got a lot better too. That's what's going to make the competition tough. Go ahead. Sorry, Swift. I didn't mean to.
All right, you're good. I mean, I think 3 of the 4 teams got better. Kansas City's just on top until they're not. That's just like that's. I've said that over and over again. Like it's to me, it's their division until it's not. But we have to win. There's a chance that all 4 teams could win 10 games and somebody not make the playoffs because that's just how competitive the AFC is.
Yeah.
You look at what is the North as well with Cleveland, Cincy, Pittsburgh, and fucking Baltimore. Like that's not an easy division either. I'm not going to say it's our division. Nope. But that's still AFC. We might be fighting with some of these teams, or somebody might be for a wild card spot.
Yeah,
like
it's going to be
a division out there too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be crazy. Gravy, what do you think about like now that we're just going to let all this shit go to rest and stuff like that? Now we're going to move on to the next, this next part of, our journey, I guess, as football fans, Raiders, and all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? What do you expect to happen this season, bro? Like, just, quick synopsis. You know what I mean? You don't have to give anything. Just, what do you
think? I'm excited. I'm sure everybody else is with the pickups we got. I thought they were in the right areas. I thought they were the right positions that we needed, and we left positions alone where they needed to be. Mm-hmm. I think that there are going to be some superstars numbers that are going to get dropped off a little bit, but in the long haul, I think we win a playoff game and we go a little bit further than that. I'm not going to say Super Bowl because I'm not insane. I'm not crazy, but if there's a potential there. And I think our division teams, the teams in our division, we made moves. We made the moves that we did, and they made the moves to counter what we did. Oh shit, the Raiders are getting better through this position and that position, even though it's not talked in the media, but it's just Devontae, that's getting talked a lot, and all these New England players. We got significantly better in a lot of areas, and then those teams countered off that to say, "How are we gonna stop these dudes?" Mm-hmm. And then it came after we made these acquisitions, and that made me feel like, hey, they know what's up. They know what's coming to them.
Right.
And then I think it's just the coaching part of it. You know, him interacting with the guys and how they flow and defensively is my most concern. How we do on the defense. So we could do maybe 8 to 10, just 8 spots higher than what we were. That'll be 20, or maybe get into the late teens. And if we have the offense that we think we are, it's full boat, man. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes.
What you got, Squid?
Nah, I'm excited for the season. I mean, even the first Pro Bowl or the Hall of Fame game coming up in August against Jacksonville, like just to see it's back.
Yeah. You got big expectations. I know, obviously playoffs at least, but I mean, do you think the defense is going to gel pretty well? Like, you know what I mean? Kind of like bouncing off what Gravy said.
I want to win the division. That's my first goal. Honestly, is a playoff push is important, and we need to do that. I just want to start off by winning the division.
Yeah,
that alone will set us up with that confidence of I've been saying it's Kansas City's division until it's not. Let's make it our division. You hear all these analysts, and the reason we're on social media is to listen to actually what goes on. Very few people have us winning the division. And I know it doesn't matter, but
I dig that. I love that shit.
That's what I want to start. I want to start with division champions this year and build from that.
Yeah. That's. Whew. It's good. It feels good.
Don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it. Leave us alone. Leave us alone, and then we're gonna do that little creep on you from behind, and then after that sauce, you're gonna sauce.
Yeah, sauce. He said sauce.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting to hear the comments, like people talk about it, and like they talk about the Chargers, but I'm like, who made the playoffs? Who knocked them out?
Yeah,
like, you remember they were not a playoff team.
No,
we were. Like you keep not talking about the team that actually made the playoffs last year. Like,
and the cool part about it is, like, you really think about that team. Yeah, they added some defensive plays, and you can try to, this and this and no. Our defense gave them a shot. Defense gave them a shot. Let them come in back and try to make it. Last game, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? If they didn't call that timeout, both of us would have went to the playoffs. They called a timeout. What's his name said, fuck it, and they just ran it. And then that's why they finished it up. So, but our defense lost that. Their offense hasn't changed much. Who do they get? Really nobody. It was more their defense. Bosa's going to be hurt, So, overall, bro, like, man.
And you know that Khalil Mack's already in the ice bath right now.
He's chilling. He's on the beach right now.
He get hurt as soon as he gets out the car, bro. Yeah. So,
Avocasi, talk to me, brother. What's your expectations this year, bro? Little something, not too much.
Just one better than last year is the pass mark for me. A playoff win be fantastic. To win the division, even better. Any more than that, supreme.
Got you. Talk to me, Jack.
I see 12-5 for this year, okay. And I agree with what you guys said about the Chargers. Like what you said about KC, it's their division to win until they don't win it. But honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't feel they're winning this year. I feel we're winning this year.
Yeah. I'm a realist, bro.
I'm not being a diss realist. I feel like we're going to have the best offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of like the Bengals. So, okay, let's go. The Bengals went to the Super Bowl. How far away going to the playoffs were we with the Bengals? One play.
Can I ask
one
you
play.
a question?
That's all it took is one play. That's all it takes in the NFL is one play. So, do I feel like we can get one play better with this roster compared to last year? Absolutely.
Yep.
So I feel that we can do that.
Can I ask a question, Jack? Do you think we can succeed if our the expectation is the offensive line. For me, it's the biggest question mark. The
offensive line is my biggest question on this team. And my second biggest question is the defensive backs. We have 3 good defensive backs. They're all number 2s. They're not number 1s. We got 3 number 2s. The offensive line, we're changing schemes up. So it adds even a bigger question mark. We're going from, a zone blocking scheme to a power blocking scheme. So when, Avi, like when I said about, Leatherface and you said something, I'm like, he's not a zone blocking guy. He's a power blocking guy. And, Limador he's a power blocking guy. Parker does not play the right side very well. He's a better backup left tackle. So I don't know about our offensive line. It's like what the Raiders have been saying, we're going to work with the guys that we have. But yes, do I feel that is the biggest weakness on our team? Yes. But did the Bengals make the Super Bowl with the bad offensive line? Yes. So, and our offensive weapons probably number 1 in the NFL? Yes. And do we have one of the best running back, tandems in the league? Yes. So it's like, I feel like there's so many offensive weapons. We're going to compensate for the offensive line based on, what McDaniel sees and what we're going to do. We can compensate. So
compensating what last year? Like I don't know. It's a little.
So do you guys feel like our wide receiver? So our wide receiver 1, our slot wide receiver, and our tight end. Where do you rank them? I'm like, me, it's number 1. And then our running backs, I feel they're top 10 in the NFL. Our offensive line is not there, but Carr's one of those quarterbacks that can get the ball out of his hands super quick. That's what Renfro, what we thrived on last year. So it's like, I feel like Carr can compensate for our offensive line this year. And hopefully some of these guys step up and changing schemes are better than they were last year.
Okay, yeah, you did mention something about the schemes, right? So this is where I go to my boy Gravy, because my boy Gravy is a coach, and we had a conversation about this last time we were having a cigar. When we're talking about schemes, right? Power, whatever, whatnot, they're not very, very, very different. It's just a scheme. You know what I mean? And that's what Gravy was basically breaking it down to me. So when everyone's saying, oh, well, we're changing schemes and we're doing that. No, it's not. Gravy can explain it a little bit better. So the 2 different running schemes that everyone's talking about, from power to what? What was it? Zone to power, right?
Zone.
Gravy, what's basically the difference?
Yeah,
because a lot of
people
Gravy say that. They just say it, but don't know what it is. I kind of know because what Gravy told me, but Gravy breaks it down and then it's like, oh, okay, now you get it. So it's not really, I'll let Gravy, please.
Okay. When you look at a power blocking scheme, people are misunderstood when you say a power blocking. You shouldn't say scheme after it. A power blocking scheme is exactly what it is. It's a package that's inside of a multiple offense with a power scheme in it. And the names of those plays, what you say in that scheme is a power play, your basic gap play, toss play, sweep play, anything that has a tight end that's with the offensive line. And that's your power. You can put 2 tight ends in what they call a double tight, or you can have 2 running backs back there, and then it's not a scheme. But it's a play. It's more of there's movement with the offensive linemen, because these defensive linemen, they line up in gaps and things like that. But they have to double team and go to this next level. They get a linebacker, or they make the hole for you.
Right.
In a sense, for the running back to see the hole. And then on the other hand, when you do a zone blocking scheme, the offensive linemen use movement to go one way, and then the quarterback, the running back or Jacobs would look like he's going to the outside, and a little itty bitty hole opens up like in the middle of the field, and that's his alley to get through.
Right.
That's a zone blocking scheme. There's movement with the offensive lineman. Not much, but sometimes they flow all the way to the right or the left. Just per se, you guys seen, and I've said this before.
Come on.
You guys seen Josh Jacobs, go to the outside, and people would complain and say, you're not real fast. Why is he running outside for? Why is he doing that? And he loses 2 to 3 to 5 yards. That he did not see that hole that opens up on the inside. So what it looks like, he's running outside, and then he cuts and jams inside, and then the pursuit is already to the sideline, and then he has open field to go.
Right.
But
so the guards weren't pulling and actually like opening up like on the opposite because they didn't move. Right. So everyone's moving, but one's coming back to open up that hole to get in. So pretty much a power. It's not power, zone scheme. These are basically considered plays. You can run a package, right? You can run a power with what is it? How do you call it? Like say 2 receivers up and 1 tight end, you know what I mean? Or you can run trips, you know what I mean? You can run a power out of a trip, you know what I mean? It just depends on who the player is going to be there. So it's not the scheme, it's a play.
It's a package in a scheme that you and the linemen are double teaming, pulling, where they're more stable instead of just movement going to one side or the other.
Gotcha.
So it's a better scheme if you have big, strong, physical offensive linemen.
Right.
And then maybe I see our offensive linemen doing that, so it's a better scheme for you. But there's so many packages and there's so many different plays. You can run a power play off zone blocking, where there's not a lot of movement. You just go to one area and they open a hole for you.
Right. So it's just basically like it's like a subfolder so it's here's the game plan, here's a subfolder of it, and there's a play of it, and it could be a power in this subfolder, but it also could be a power in this subfolder too, because there's just different packages in the grand scheme of the whole playbook. Yeah. So a power can be ran in pretty much in different packages in different ways. So that what clears up a lot of different things. So when people say, we're changing this, we're changing that, and then even with the defense on the defense side of the ball too, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? What is it like? I'm going to do this, or I'm going to run the the nickel this or whatever. When I don't have the plays in front of me or anything like that to actually do that. But what I'm trying to say is it's the whole package is subsets of anything. There could be a different type of blitz on on a different type of, say, a 3-4 or 4-3 or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? So they're just within plays. But that's where a lot of people. That's why I learned a lot from doing this, because you see different people's perspective, and you meet someone like Gravy that has this, knowledge of what football really is.
Did you play Gravy?
Madden doesn't tell you everything.
I play and I coach also.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been coaching for how many years now? For a while, good while, huh? Yeah, running back coach. So
I see the hole open, and I see where he needs to go, and people get pissed off, and I understand it's not all Jacob's fault. I can sit there and I'll make a drive with you. It's not there for Jacobs to get there.
That was going to be my question to Jack. I was going to ask the question that, do we believe the team can succeed if the O-line struggles? I was going to ask that question. What do you think, Gravy? Do you think if our O-line struggles, we could, I don't question, I've said this a few times, I don't question our quarterback play. I don't question our running back, what they are capable of. I don't question our skill positions. My only question is, it starts at the front. Our offensive line. If we cannot block properly, if we cannot pass protect, and we can't open up those running lanes, can we still succeed? My answer to that is I don't know.
No. My answer to that is no. If your offensive line is booty, then I would try to do something. And it matters where it's at. You tend to see different teams run to one side around their big dogs. That guard or that tackle that's solidified. You run over their butts, but then the defense is going to see that.
Right.
There's only a certain amount of plays you can catch them off guard with, and that's where play action pass comes into play, and different formations and things like that. But without a decent decent offensive line, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially if it leads to sacks and it hits behind the line of scrimmage and things like that. That's it. That'll hurt you big time.
That's also why I remain in wait and see mode. Is like I the expectation and the hopes is that they step up, but we have questions across the board, minus at left tackle. Everyone, every position, interior, right tackle, especially right tackle, maybe possibly even center, is a question mark. And I'm hopeful that they can get it together, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I think that'll be the key to our success, because I don't question those other spots.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, guys, I think I'm about to wrap this up. I got dinner center waiting. It's kind of getting cold in and out, cold in and out. Thank you guys for showing up, man. Thank you guys, everybody, for showing up, man. So, like, before we go, man, just want to say, man, so overall, the whole point was basically just showing the Princess Complex. You know, people have it on so many different levels. In this case, I believe that, like, that's pretty much what happened in this case. Regardless of the improprieties of certain businesses don't run right. Certain people come in, they say they're going to do something, it just happens. That's what happened on our end. We still, as far as the organization was concerned, with this guy coming in and having everything handed to him and wanting more and more and getting more and wanting more, basically, for me, that was a very selfish move. He didn't apologize and say anything like, hey, I was in the wrong. He got on the camera, did some couple things, really just kind of made me just push back. But on some real shit, things dead. We've talked about it. It's over. There's no need to talk about it no more. There's no need to have this guy in any kind of conversation. And that's a wrap. That's it.
Good job. Good job, bro.
That's a wrap. I'm not going to bag the man or call him a whatever. You know, I'm not going to do that. He is probably providing for some family. You know, obviously mental health is issue on different levels. People deal with it on different levels. That's the only reason I even gave him a shot. Still believe him. He's a man of God. Do his thing. Don't wish no ill on him. But it just didn't work. Now just let it rest. No more. You know what I mean? It's okay to end. How do you say it? It's okay to end a relationship. You know, or condone a relationship that's ending. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gone forever. It's just the relationship between you and this and whatnot comes to an end. And that's it. And you're good with that. And then you can just move on with your life. And that's what I'm going to do. Russell, good luck. That's all I got to say about that one. So, Gravy, go to give your final words. Have Kasi do your thing. And then we'll just finish it up from there.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm done. Have Kasi, go for it.
Oh.
Can we? Is this the last show that we're gonna talk about this cat or what?
So we're gonna be here for another half an hour. This is gonna be the last one. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna bring it up anymore. I want to dead it. I want to dead it. Like, I don't want to keep on going back. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck, I hate living in the past, bro. Like, shit. You know. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it, brother. But yeah, there's just
we gotta move forward.
Get it all out. Get it all out. Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
Go for it, Gravy. Run it.
Me? Or still Gravy?
Oh, yeah, whoever. Hey, rock, paper, scissors. Right now, fucking rock, paper, scissors, go.
All right, look, thanks for having me on the show, Dirty. It's always a pleasure catching up with you, Gravy. Jack Cannon was on before, Squid, and Raphael.
Yeah.
I don't know who was on before that, but appreciate you guys. Look forward to the next one, and yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. Hopefully, we got something else to talk about other than are we going to sign or are we not going to sign in Ndamukong? I'm over it. I'm sick of it. Either signs, he signs, or he doesn't, whatever. That's my final take.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey, Kasi, thank you, brother, for coming in, man. It's always appreciated, brother. Yeah, we'll probably be doing another one. Me and Gravy, be looking out, man. Me and Gravy got like a couple other shows coming up. It's going to be a little bit more on the college side, but you'll be seeing it coming up soon, very, very soon. Joe's going to be a part of it too. You know, everything. Yeah, sure. So, man, brother, always appreciate you, man. Always a pleasure, man. Always, definitely. Gravy, we'll be grabbing a cigar either tomorrow or the next day. You already know what's up. Everybody in the chat, man.
Friday, you canceling out on me already, bro? Saturday?
I don't speak of the Spanish. I don't know. No. I don't speak of it. Nah, I'll fuck with you, brother. I'll give you a call, shit, man. Hey, Nate, hey, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for pulling up, brother. It's entirely Lowe's Crawl. Just remember.
There as well.
Don't pet the burning dog. Don't pet the Grandize, bro. I have no idea what you're talking about that. But hey, man, thank you guys again, man. We'll be back next week. Got more stuff coming up. Follow all of us on IG. Gravy, Avocasi, looks up. Thank you guys again, man. Appreciate all you guys. Till next time. Peace.
Peace out.
I don't believe they're frauds. I think they'll be there in the end.
What a season for the Raiders. Yeah, considering everything that they went through, right? From the John Gruden things to the Henry Ruggs to the players with the gun.
Playing Call of Duty.
Playing Call of Duty.
Either, but they're not even close to being the best team in their division. They're a wild card team at best.
If Derek Carr is not the quarterback of the Raiders, they're not here.
Kind of remake their roster a little bit here today. They matched Chandler Jones with Max Crosby. They had Rocky Sin in the secondary. They lose Yannick Ngakoue.
Devontae Adams, in a massive move here, MJ, is headed to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Third grade year, I said on the NFL star, NBA star. I was wearing Charles Winston jersey at the time, so it's been documented forever. So I guess you could say it's meant to be.